Hello guys, welcome once again to the Boss Style GH. If today is your first time of watching my video, you are highly welcome to my page. Also guys, the video I posted previously, it was corrupted, the file was corrupted, so it was taken down. I don't know whether if it was YouTube that did that. The video just wasn't displaying for everybody. Do you understand? And I was seeing the video this morning. Yes, I was seeing it this morning. Today is Tuesday, all right? I was seeing it this morning, but this evening I went back. I can't also watch the video. Do you understand? So I went back to my gallery to check what was going on. I found out that half of the video could actually play, but the remaining half was just blacked out. Do you understand? So because of that, I'll be going through the process of drafting it again. And guys, this is so hectic, seriously. So this measurement I have here, I'll be drafting my front here. I'll be drafting my back here, and actually from this point to this point I divided my hip circumference measurement by what? 2. This is because the hip is the biggest part of my body. You understand? So if your waist is bigger, you can actually divide your waist by 2. So guys, after that I'll go ahead and I would like to mark just this line. This is my shoulder line. So this will serve as my shoulder line. Okay guys, so I'm drafting now the front pattern. So I'll go ahead and mark the width of my neck, 3 inches. 3 inches for the width of my neck. Depth of the neck, go ahead and mark your preferred length. Okay, your preferred depth of neck. You can just go ahead and mark for 5 inches at this point, and I'll remark the width at this point, which is 3 inches. So guys, I'll come up here by 2 inches or 2.5 inches, like so. So guys, that is it for the neck. So for the shoulder, I'll mark half of my shoulder measurement. Okay, mark half of your shoulder divided by 2, mark half of it, and then come down here by 1 inch. Okay, so guys, that is it. So now you are going to be placing your tape at your neck, because this is your neck, like so, and then you mark your vertical measurements, shoulder to chest line, shoulder to bust point, shoulder to under bust, so guys, go ahead and mark. Okay, this is my chest line, label C, bust point, under bust, my half length, my hip line, okay, and then this is the full, my new line. This is my new line. Okay guys, so if yours is exceeding, if your gown is getting maybe above the knee, after the knee, then you can go ahead and mark the length of your gown. So guys, at this point I will remark half of my shoulder measurement, like so. This is half of my shoulder, and at this point I'll mark my bust circumference measurement divided by 4, which is 9.2. So this is it. Then at this point I'll find the middle of this line. So at this point I'll come in by 0.75. So now from this point I'll connect it to my bust divided by 4, my bust circumference measurement divided by 4. Sorry guys, I'll divide my bust circumference measurement by 4, and I'll mark it at this point. And then this is my under bust circumference measurement divided by 4. Just mark it. And then at my half length, also my waist circumference measurement divided by 4. This is it, plus 1 inch that I'll be taking out. So this is it. So you know that this is my hip circumference measurement divided by 4. From here is hip divided by 4. So I will not be inputting my hip measurement again. Okay, guys. So guys, now at this is my new measurements, and this is my new shoulder to new, and it's also where my gown is stopping at. Okay guys, so from this place I can choose to just come in by 1 inch or 1.5, depending on the style that you're making. If you're making a pencil gown, you can make it 1.5. Okay guys, so 1 inch at this point. Guys, after that, the next thing we are going to be talking about is the sleeveless part of the gown. So if you are making a sleeveless gown, starting from this point, you can mark the width of your shoulder. Do you understand? 3.5 or 3 inches at this point. Normally I love to make use of 3.5. So this is my 3.5. I will actually try to make sure that I have a straight line at this point. But if you're not making a sleeveless gown, you can just make use of this normal armhole I've marked. So at this point, I'm going to be coming up by exactly what I marked here, 3.75. 3.75. That is half of my armhole. Okay guys, so this is if you're making a sleeveless gown. But if you're just making a normal gown, just make use of this armhole. Okay guys. So now, if you are conversant with, if you have watched the previous video, I actually drafted just this, but I did this one because there was question in the previous video. Do you understand? So if you're making the kind of gown that doesn't have sleeve, you can make use of this armhole. Do you understand? But if you're making a normal, a normal gown, you can just make use of this armhole. Hope it's understood, guys. So the next thing I'll be marking now is my bust span. I'll mark half of it here. Your bust span divided by 2. So guys, this is it. So now it's time for us to take out the 1 inch I added from my darts. Half inch on both sides, guys. Half inch here, and also half inch at this point. Okay, and this should stop half inch before your hip line. So this is half inch, and before your bust point, it should stop half inch. That's before the bust line. So guys, this is our dart. So now when it comes to this gown, okay, when it comes to a gown, you can actually draft it like this, no problem. But if you want to add a bust dart, you can go ahead and add a bust dart. And I always tell you guys, your bust dart should be the difference between your shoulder here to your waist, the difference between your shoulder to waist for the front pattern and shoulder to waist for the back pattern should be your bust width dart. So mine is 1.3. Okay guys, and also it should stop half inch before your bust point. Don't tamper with your bust point. Okay, so guys, you guys know how I do it. I will be extending this line because our dart has to be of the same length. That's the right thing to do for fitting purpose. Okay guys. So guys, this is our dart, and that is the end of the front pattern. I can now go ahead to draft the backwards pattern. So guys, I'll be drafting the back pattern starting from here to here, which is my hip divided by 4 measurements. Okay, so now for the neckline, we'll be making use of the same neckline we marked at the front pattern, which is 3 inches. So this is it, 3 inches for the width, and for the depth we are going to be marking just 1 inch. From this point, guys, I'll mark my shoulder divided by 2, and this is it. Shoulder divided by 2 inches. By 2, I mean to say. So for the back pattern, you can actually slant your shoulder down by 1 inch or half inch. Either way is okay. Okay. I'll go ahead and place my tape just at the neck. Always do that. So I'll go ahead and mark my shoulder to my chest line. Shoulder for the chest line, front and back, is always the same, guys. It doesn't change. So now for the shoulder to the waistline, this is where you find out how many dart did you take. We took out 2 inches dart. You have to make it 2 inches shorter, shoulder to waist at this point. Okay, guys. So my shoulder to waist here for the front was 17 inches, right? So 17 minus by 1.3, that is going to be 15.6. So this is now my new waistline for the back pattern. Okay, guys. So at this point, I'll just come up by 1.3, which is that I removed for the front pattern. Okay, guys. So by the time we close the dart, it is going to come back to the same length with the. So guys, that is it. So now from this place, I will mark half of my shoulder measurement once again at my chest line. So starting from here again, I'll go ahead and mark my bust divided by 4, bust circumference measurement divided by 4. So guys, you can come up here by 3 inches, or you can find the middle. So at this point, I'll just come in by half of an inch. So guys, from here, before I mark my waist, I'll actually come in by half of an inch, like so. This is called sway back, to avoid any puffiness at the back when you fix your zip. So from here, come down by 4 inches or 4.5. So now my measurement is starting from this point. I'll then go ahead and mark my waist circumference measurement divided by 4. And I'll add 1 inch from that. So guys, I forgot to mark the hip line. So now this is already my hip divided by 4, so I'll just connect it to this. So guys, at this point, I'll still come in by 1 inch, all right, just like I did at the front part. So guys, by the time you close this bust dart, this one is going to come up here. It will come up here and become of the same length with the back pattern. For the sleeveless gown, if you are making a sleeveless gown, the same width of shoulder you have here is the same width of shoulder you should be applying at your back pattern. Okay, here I have 3.5 and a half. So at this point, starting from here, I'll still mark the same 3.5 and a half. So I came up here by exactly 3.6. So I'll still come up at this line by 3.6. Everything has to align together, guys. So this is it. So from this point, I'm going to connect it. If you are drafting a sleeveless gown, you can make use of this first one. But if it is a normal gown, just make use of this one. I hope you guys understand. So guys, we'll then go ahead and take out the waist that we added. And by doing so, from here, I will mark half of my bust span. So this is half of my bust span measurements. So guys, just like I did for the front, from the hip line, I'll be going up by half of an inch. And then I'll mark half inch on both sides of the dart leg. half inch here and half inch here. And then for this particular one, you can go up by 1 inch above your chest line. So guys, this comes to the end of our drafting of English sleeveless gown. Okay guys, see you guys on the trouser class.